regular season.
Manu Ginobili has already scored the Spurs 4 points, 6 on the shot clock. Antonio McDyess hits from outside.
Early on, they'll play straight up, and then they'll make adjustments as they go on.
Here is Ginobili feeding into the corner, and McDyess hitting from the corner. So the Spurs, red hot.
What has done is build on their strengths, offense, and then little by little improve their team defense.
Caron Butler in and out. There's Nowitzki with the offensive rebound. He had Ginobili underneath, so he had a big height advantage. Lost the ball in this first quarter. There's that high screen, and now working against McDyess. Fall away by Nowitzki. 6 points for Nowitzki, 5 for Butler. They lost to the Miami Heat, winning the first 2 games and dropping the last 4, and that's the one thing the Mavericks want. What the Spurs have had. They've won 4 championships, and the Mavericks still looking for their first win. Nowitzki against McDyess. Parker fainting to come over to double team, and a high arcing shot. How familiar is that from Dirk? He suffered a fractured bone in his hand against Memphis in March. Came back, and George Hill did a tremendous job. So Hill and Parker are both in the lineup at the same time as Duncan gets his Parker. And Parker loses the ball on the drive. Here's Terry with Bonner back. Marion cleans up. And the Mavericks up by 3. No, the Spurs want to play a half-court game. They'll take advantage when they have that opportunity on a missed shot or a turnover.
Well, he's got to get some easy baskets along the way. He understands that because of the number of points that Dallas can score.
Great basket on the baseline turnaround, number 33. Brendan Haywood, who along with Caron Butler, Deshaun Stevenson, came over from the Wizards. Here is Kidd. For 3. Jason Kidd, never been an outstanding shooter.
And Gallinari, I mean, the only other 2 players that have made more 3-point shots than Jason Kidd this season.
The rookie DeJuan Blair from Pittsburgh, who came on strong toward the end of the year, has come in. There's a 2-point field goal by Jason Kidd. So Nowitzki has 8, Butler and Kidd 5 apiece, and the Mavericks lead by 6, extending their biggest lead. With nearly a half a minute remaining in the first, Parker with a high arcing jumper. Beautiful by Tony Parker, who averaged nearly 19 a game. Second leading scorer. Good pass, Marion to Haywood, and one. And it was Marion who made the pass. Goes out of the game, and Deshaun Stevenson, who's the 3rd player who came over from the Wizards, making his first appearance. Here is Parker, who's hit a couple of nice medium-range jump. For the Mavericks, Caron Butler has come back into the game as Ginobili intercepts that pass thrown by Kidd. Here's Manu Ginobili going up and lays it in. Ginobili now with 8 points on 4 for 6 shooting, and most of them have been in hit. Here is Parker. And a putback by Blair.
That was a pass, Tony Parker's going to tell us. It was not a shot attempt, it was a pass because he knew Blair was waiting on the other side.
You don't really think so.
Yeah, trying to help Tony's field goal percentage out.
So now the Spurs back down by 1 as they were trailing by 5 at the end of the quarter. Here's Nowitzki against Bonner, and he banks it in, and Bonner did everything he could do defensively.
Except jump at the end. He was trying to hold his ground. He never got off the ground.
So Nowitzki now with 10. Ginobili over Nowitzki, hitting the 3. Dirk Nowitzki. Bonner, Ginobili, and Richard Jefferson defensively for San Antonio. Barea fires it up. Brendan Haywood working his way inside and puts it through. Haywood now with 5 points and leading by 2. Double team on Barea. And the 3-point attempt by Terry comes out into the hands of Butler. Butler over Jefferson. Good play by Caron Butler. And how do you think he must feel and the other 2 going from the Wizards to a team that has a chance to possibly win a title?
Well, just imagine the feeling where all the problems that they had going on in Washington, you get a phone call around the All-Star break saying, oh, by the way, and we see the finish that time on the inside by Blair, and they tell you, you know, got some tough news for you. You're going to have to join the Dallas Mavericks, who just wound up as the second seed in the West.
And Hayward gets the basket and the foul. So we have seen a couple of big people make some spectacular plays. Amazing happen. Hayward with his second conventional three-point play of the night, giving the Mavericks the 5-point lead. Ginobili with the layup. Well, he's gotten a few of those so far. Under 7 to play in the first half. Dallas by 3. Parker with a 2-point basket cuts the Mavs lead to 1. 6 for Parker.
And Parker, after missing the first couple of shots, starting to make his way, find that jump shot, increase his range a little bit.
And Nowitzki double teamed as Jefferson coming over, and he banks it in. And Rick Carlisle is yelling that he should be fouled and going to the line as well.
He didn't shoot that one. He just threw it up there to get the whistle on the foul call and wound up banking it off the glass.
And didn't get the foul call. So the lead again is 3. Duncan going away with a very difficult shot from the baseline. And the Spurs now have made their last 6 from the field. Nowitzki comes right back with a basket, and Dirk Nowitzki has 14 points.
Nowitzki's how many games, he has played, or on the other side of it, how few he's missed throughout his career when you consider not only the NBA and the playoffs, we see the finish that time by Duncan, but the international competition, Dick, on top of
It's really been a one-man gang offensively with Nowitzki. Here is Marion with his unorthodox shooting style, and Hayward puts it back. 10 now for Hayward. So 2 big guys in double figures for Dallas.
You're wondering how long Hayward is. He just did that over the top of Tim Duncan, who's pretty long himself.
And the offensive rebounding resulting in 7 chance points, 7-1 in favor of Dallas as Duncan gets free inside for the layup. And now Duncan has 10. A tight game here with 4:10 remaining in the first half. The Mavericks lead the Spurs by 1 in game 1. And there is Butler cutting to the basket. Reverse layup for Caron Butler. Correa with a good feed. Antonio Spurs, and earlier this year when they weren't up to their level, it was because of their defense had fallen off a bit. Caron Butler with a fall away. Butler now has 11, so the Mavericks have 3 in double figures. Duncan, McDyess, Parker, and Ginobili. Big 3 in the game right now for San Antonio. Caron Butler again with another fall away, just like the last time.
What hasn't Butler done? He's taken
Very close second quarter. McDyess manages to control it. Shot clock running down to 7. And a fall away by Ginobili, and he hits. The cast changed so dramatically, you really can't draw any conclusions from the regular year.
No, because the 4 starting lineups in each game are just way out of whack. The guys who played games 1 and 2 aren't even around anymore now.
Here is Duncan, fouled and gets the basket. Tim Duncan fighting his way in, and a chance to cut the Mavericks lead to 3. Tips is Dampier, and it's saved by Ginobili and nearly stolen by Kid. Duncan to McDyess with the layup. And all of a sudden, the Spurs, who are down by 8, have cut the margin to 2. And now the Mavericks playing for the final shot. Here is Nowitzki. Nothing doing inside, working his way in against Roger Mason. Gets the basket and the foul.
Rotation here, there's the rotation. Mason comes up much smaller. He moves into him, fades, even though he knows the double team's coming from Tony Parker from behind him on the blind side. Still makes that shot, and here's the scary thing. For 3 free throw attempts in that first half.
And Kidd, guarded by George Hill, pick and spot up. Nowitzki, another one. Dirk Nowitzki now 8 of 10 from the field. Tremendous amount of respect Greg Popovich has for George Hill.
Well, he does. He's in love with this young man because he plays so many different ways the game the right way. Defensively, makes shots from the perimeter, drives it to the basket. He's got toughness about him.
And Duncan's points have come from inside. We haven't seen much of his familiar bank shot off of the wing. 2 minutes gone by. Ginobili Dampier and Butler pick him up. Duncan with a touch pass to McDyess, who slams it through.
And Duncan understands where everybody is on the floor, barely touches the ball that time on the deflected pass, gets it out of his hands, and assists to his teammate McDyess.
And the Spurs getting the job done in the paint, as you see, and cutting the Mavericks lead to 3. Jason Kidd to Nowitzki, puts the fake on McDyess, and he's got another one.
It's down.
Ginobili for 3. Manu Ginobili with his second three-point basket of the game.
You'd rather have him give it up and take your chances with Kidd right now.
And Tony Parker stop and go behind the back to McDyess, and he ties the game at 54. Antonio McDyess. And Ginobili all over Kidd and gets a piece of it, and here's a 3-on-2, 4-on-2 break. And Ginobili inside to Jefferson, who lays it in, and the Spurs regain the lead. And Marion with a runner gets the field goal. Marion, who's playing with 3 fouls now, gets his 5th point of the game, and the Mavericks take the lead once more.
Marion's one of those guys you don't have to run any set plays for Sean Marion. He defends, then he gets him on offensive rebounds and just running the floor in transition.
Dampier blocks. Duncan comes out to Ginobili, who hits the 3. Manu Ginobili with his 3rd three-pointer of the game. Sean Marion staying with Manu Ginobili. Duncan on the pick and roll, gets the field goal. Tim Duncan.
Go back, we see Ginobili always knowing where Tim Duncan is, hits him at the right time. Duncan has the angle, turns the corner, and makes sure this time he's not getting this shot blocked for sure.
They want to get back against this fast break style. Here's Nowitzki posting up against Bonner. Ginobili ready to help. Repost. Turnaround. Another one. Dirk Nowitzki. Unbelievable tonight. 27 points. Antonio off of Maverick turnovers here in the second. Under 4 minutes. And there's Nowitzki again with Bonner. And the basket counts. And an and one.
Eighth for 6th man of the year.
No question.
Jamal Crawford, Atlanta, another one.
6-point Dallas lead. So when the Spurs made it close, took the lead in a back-and-forth game, Nowitzki took over, but now Duncan with a chance to come back, leading his Spurs, and a chance for the and one here. They call them free throws.
They give up just around 22 free throw attempts per game, which is 5th best in the league to their opponents. And right now, only 4 for San Antonio.
Tony Parker can't hear the rebound. And a 6-point lead, and the Mavericks can either tie their biggest lead of the game or establish the biggest margin if Kidd hits this, and he does! And the lead is 9. That's the biggest lead of the game. And the crowd on its feet here at the American Airlines Center. Here's Parker getting past Nowitzki in the lane. Duncan with a turnaround. Furious ball movement by the Spurs. They kind of had to force that one up there. Mavs up by 7. Butler from the corner. Tough shot from the baseline of this game. Coming out of nowhere is Butler to knock the ball away on the pass. Great anticipation we're seeing from Dallas defensively. Caron Butler for 3. And the first double-digit lead of the game. Over 3 times.
You know, Mason really struggling with the tape job on the right hand. Those last 2 fingers taped together and really struggled to make a shot.
Manu Ginobili gets the basket and the foul. So Manu comes in to quiet the crowd. 23 for Ginobili, who leads the Spurs.
Keeping that dribble alive, keeping his concentration as he splits the defense and then getting it up over the top of the shot block.
See if the Spurs can yet make another run in the game as Ginobili gets it over to Bonner. Here's Jason Kidd. Takes it all the way for the basket. Kidd now. He's in double figures. Great basket since the first quarter for Dallas. And they're up by 11. Bonner in the paint. In and out. Duncan. What a tough basket by Duncan. I don't know how he spun it off the glass. Gets the basket and his foul.
Coach on the side.
He's a coach at the table. Here's Nowitzki with Bonner. Trying to make it tough for him. Hayward to Marion. Reverse layup. Right now, Dallas is getting some easy layups.
Passing the basketball, looking over the top of the San Antonio defense. A nice interior passing, sharing of the basketball.
Bonner with a three. So Bonner, good three-point shooter for a big man.
He took a couple of the people that are on the floor. Bonner won. Mason was on there a second ago. Popovich relies on them to spread the defense out and make three-point shots.
Here's Terry. Marion with a runner, banks it in. Marion has done it defensively, now doing it on the offensive end. 9 points, 4 here in this fourth quarter. The lead is 7. Tony Parker driving by Nowitzki with a runner, and Tony Parker with the field goal. And again, it's a 5-point lead.
Parker just turns up the jets a little bit and turns the corner when he sees Nowitzki switch out on him.
And a lot of that points in the paint is because of penetration, not necessarily because of the big men scoring inside for the Spurs. 7 on the clock. Terry finally gets his first basket of the game. Parker. And Bonner saves it beautifully to Ginobili.
Well, if San Antonio doesn't get a stop, they just can't produce enough offense to catch him.
Duncan with the fake and the lay-in. And a timeout call. It's a 5-point game. And a good save by Terry.
How many layups right at the rim shot attempts has San Antonio missed this evening?
Against Jefferson, the fall away by Nowitzki. 12 of 14 from the field. 36 for Dirk. Lead for Dallas. And they've earned that 10-point lead with under 3.5 to go in regulation. Parker. Tony Parker.
With San Antonio, but it comes down to getting stops, figuring out how you're going to stop Nowitzki. And you'll see these two guys, Kidd and Nowitzki, with the ball in their hands. And Jason Terry hasn't even gotten going yet.
Here's Kidd. Big three. Jason Kidd. 9. Nearly 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Triple team for the moment on Nowitzki. Duncan is on Nowitzki now. Under 3 to play. The extra pass from Kidd to Terry. And a 3-point field goal by Jason Terry. Nowitzki passes up a shot to Kidd. And Richard Jefferson quickly out to Parker. Parker. And it's finally tipped in by Dan Bonner. Doing it on both ends of the floor tonight. And there is Terry missing a 3.
Yeah. Very good offensively, but very impressive defensively.
Parker gets the layup. And all they really needed, they had other help, but it was Dirk Nowitzki with that brilliant 36-point offensive performance. They can run out the clock here. And the Dallas Mavericks have taken a 1-0 lead over the Spurs in this age-old Texas rivalry. The final score, the Mavericks 100.